Hey everyone, it's Tony from Mr. T's Toys, the place to review and discuss vintage and modern toys while we geek out over fandoms from today and yesterday. Today, I've got some of my G.I. Joe MOBAT tanks from 1982, along with a few drivers and grunts, so to speak, along for the ride here. This little tank was quite the toy back in 1982. I remember receiving it along with a Jeep, the Vamp, and a motorcycle with a side cannon, and the G.I. Joe headquarters. I got that all, I believe it was Christmas of 1982 that I received all of those. And boy, did I have some adventures with these toys. I had always been a fan of Army toys when I was younger. And the posability of G.I. Joe's, the Real American Hero line, was really something special, compared to the He-Man and the Star Wars figures. This guy's really stiff, though he does have a broken crotch. This is Steeler. He's the driver that came with the Mobat. And depending on whether you got yours in Canada or an American release, you got a different file card. And I happen to have both file cards here. So the American one here has a good write-up. So Ralph Pulaski, he comes from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And his little write-up here. Steeler comes from a blue-collar, middle-class background. He put himself through college on an ROTC scholarship and worked as a heavy equipment operator. Familiar and proficient with all NATO and Warsaw Pact AFVs, graduated armor school, top of class, special training, Cadre XAFV project, artillery school, AFV desert exercise, covert ops school, qualified expert in the M16, M1911A1, and the MAC-10, and the Uzi. And that's the Uzi is what he comes with there. What's the little quote here? Young, reckless, often clashes with authority. A superior officer's quote. But he's one tough soldier. Well, I think you'd have to be in order to be involved in an armor unit. Now, the difference with the Canadian card, you can see just there's a discoloration or a color difference rather. And it's got both English and French, so no room for the write-up at all. Although it does still have the quote there. But look at this difference: birthplace Hamilton, Ontario. So that's the big difference here. A Canadian-born Steeler versus the American Steeler. So you can see, the American releases came with U.S. flags, decals that you'd put on. I've got a Canadian one back here. Canadian flags, Canada. So you can have a little bit of diversification in your armor unit. You might also notice that the top machine guns that I've got here, I've got some different ones. I actually ordered some 3D prints online that are a little different. These are notoriously getting lost if you were to find these at flea markets and such. So I ordered a couple of these that I could throw on, and I think they look pretty good. Color's almost right. Of course, this is an original here. it's these telescope outwards. Turn all the way around. The top gun turret turns, and then this was actually motorized. A motorized tank. It could move. It took batteries, and you just have to move this up for it to go forward, and backwards for it to go backwards. I've taken the batteries out. You know, actually, when I was a kid, that irritated me. I wanted a tank that I could just move around, and the treads would move easily. And I didn't like the idea that I needed something motorized to, I'd have to, turn it on for it to move. So I've never had batteries. I was always, I always ran the batteries out, and then he was just kind of stuck there and needed to catch a ride on the vamp with clutch. So yeah, but for now, as an adult collector, it looks really nice with the rubber tread here. Now, one of the things that I do with any of my vintage vehicles that have some type of rubber is I use something to prop it up a little bit so that the rubber's not on the ground. So not touching. That way there's no pressure on it that could cause it to wear or just break. And hopefully conditions are just right so that it doesn't dry rot. Always a challenge with 40-year-old rubber and plastic is trying to get it to not deteriorate before our eyes. So yeah, that's a few of my G.I. Joe vehicles that I really enjoy having as an adult collector. And it's one of those things where I just cannot get rid of them. If I find one out at a thrift store or flea market, I have to pick it up, and I can never resell them. I just hang on to them and army build them and have a whole armor platoon in my shop here. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe here at Mr. T's Toys.